Let me tell you about the most expensive fast food decision of my entire life. And I'm not talking about an upset stomach. I'm talking about a totaled car, a man with a gun, for hours on a freezing road, and a bill that climbed past 500 pounds. All because I thought I was being clever about dinner. This happened just a couple of days ago, and I am still processing it. So bear with me. It was Sunday evening. That specific kind of Sunday where you've been hosting family for Christmas, you've cooked approximately 1,000 meals in 4 days, and the last thing on earth you want to do is stand in front of a stove again. My partner's parents had just left. The house was wrecked in that comfortable post-Christmas way, and we looked at each other and said, "Takeaway." Obviously, no discussion needed. Now, my partner had her eye on this Turkish place nearby. She'd been wanting to try it for a while. We pulled up the menu, started adding things to the basket, and before long we were looking at 70 pounds. 70. For one dinner. I looked at that number. I looked at my partner. And I said, and I want you to remember this moment because it is the sentence that set everything in motion. I said, KFC would probably be like a third of that price. She thought about it. She nodded. She agreed. I felt like an absolute financial genius. 20 quid. Maybe 25. We'd eat well, save money. Everyone wins. Simple. I drove out to collect it myself. Got to the KFC, placed the order, picked it up. I was in such a good mood that I sat in the car park and ate a piece of barbecue chicken right there before heading home. Just sitting there, completely satisfied with myself, genuinely feeling like I'd made the smart call. Now, looking back, I realized that was the last peaceful moment of my evening. I pulled out of the car park and started heading home. 5, maybe 6 minutes into the drive. Quiet road, normal conditions, and then a car coming the other direction swings out into my lane. Not drifting slightly, not edging over the line. Fully, completely into my lane, at speed, to overtake the car in front of him. And I remember, and this is the strange thing about these moments, how clearly you think. I remember having an actual internal conversation with myself in real time. A very short one. They're not going to hit me. People don't just drive head-on into someone. They'll correct. They'll pull back. They're still coming. Okay, they are definitely still coming. Oh, the impact was, it's hard to describe a crash to someone who hasn't been in one. It's not like the movies. There's no slow motion. It's just a sound and a sensation and then a completely different reality than the one you were in half a second ago. The crunching of metal, the spinning, genuinely spinning, and then stillness. I sat there for a second. Did the instinctive check, arms, legs, head. Everything responded. Okay, I'm all right. I tried to open my door. It didn't open. I tried again. Nothing. The whole frame was buckled. So I climbed across to the passenger side, pushed that door open, and stepped out onto the road. My car was completely totaled. I want to be clear about what that looked like. The front end was basically gone. Bonnet crumpled up like paper, windows smashed, one of the wheels hanging at an angle that wheels simply should not hang at. People who saw the photos couldn't believe I walked away from it. Honestly, standing there looking at it, neither could I. I went over to check on the driver of the other car. He said he was fine. He was leaning over toward the passenger seat, which I thought was odd, but I figured he was getting his phone or his documents or something. So I stepped away, started looking around, trying to figure out what happened and what to do next. And then someone started shouting, "He's got a gun." At that moment, I genuinely thought I'd misheard, because this is the United Kingdom. People do not have guns. It's not a thing that happens in the middle of a Sunday night takeaway run. I half dismissed it. Then the guy I'd been talking to, another driver who'd stopped, came over to me looking pretty shaken. He said the driver was trying to leave. He'd tried to stop him. The man had pulled out a gun and threatened him with it. Everything snapped into a very different focus very quickly. Someone driving erratically, refusing to stay at the scene, armed. In the UK, I'm not going to speculate on what this person was involved in, because honestly I don't know and it's not really my place. What I know is that the driver of the car he'd been overtaking had pulled over and was offering me a lift away from the situation. And I looked up the road and I could already see the blue lights coming in the distance. So I made the decision to step back from the other vehicle, and let the police handle it. You're probably wondering how that ended. The police found him. There was an armed response. He was shot. I stood on that road for 4 hours, giving statements, waiting around, going over it again and again with various officers while my KFC sat somewhere in the wreckage getting cold. At no point did I eat any more of it. The aftermath, financially, has been joyful. We only had one car. Our other one had failed its MOT so badly it wasn't worth fixing. So this was our only way of getting around. Hire car for 10 days, 400 pounds. New car seat because ours was involved in a crash and you're supposed to replace them after any impact, 150 pounds. New watch strap because mine didn't survive, 10 pounds. Over 500 pounds. And rising because we're still figuring out the car situation. Now, looking back at that moment in the KFC car park, eating my chicken and feeling smug about saving us 50 quid, I would go back and order every single thing on that Turkish menu. I would order things twice. I would tip extravagantly. 70 pounds for a quiet Sunday dinner at home sounds like the deal of the century right now. My partner has not said, "I told you so." She is a better person than I am. If the situation were reversed, I would absolutely have said it by now. The KFC, for the record, was not even that good.